Anybody home? Come on out, everybody! It's time to play!
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy, I just don't give a fuck! Smoking for no fucking time, and I wanna know what the fuck you're doing with my time!
All I kick ass for the Lord.
What's up, you spooky freaks, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host, as always, Jay Schatzer, and today I have a frighteningly weird flick to show you guys. It is from 1986, and it's got three separate directors because it's that much of a shit show. It has Thomas Doran, Brendan Faulkner, and rounding it out is Jeannie Joseph with the 1986 weird-ass creature flick conundrum. It is Spookies, and this one is batshit crazy. The very definition of the word. There's so much weird shit in here you won't believe your eyes, so let's get into the strangeness. Here is Spookies. Spookies is beyond belief. It's really just a strange film that has an even weirder storied past of how it was made. But let's just jump into the premise and then I'll go from there. But the premise of the movie is a sorcerer named Creon is trying to get his bride to live eternally, and in order to do that, he needs to take the lives of people that stumble onto his house in the middle of a graveyard. So a group of kids, I say kids because some of these people look pretty damn old, they end up at the house, all couples, and they just find a Ouija board, start summoning spirits, and some get possessed, some start changing into creatures, other creatures start attacking them and murdering them. It's just out of control and makes little to no sense, but that's pretty much the premise of it, I guess, the movie, and yeah. You have to see it to believe it, to even understand how stupidly strange this movie is. But as for the making of it, apparently the two directors that started the film, and it was actually going to be named Twisted Souls, was Thomas Doran and Brendan Faulkner. And they were replaced because the producer, I think his name is Michael Lee, seemed like he was a real dickhead. Nobody seemed to like him on set. But he got those guys out and brought in, I guess, Jeannie Joseph as this third director to add a little bit of different footage, take some stuff away. And I don't know if that's where the premise got mixed up, where it almost feels like it's two separate films. Because there really does seem to be a film that's concentrated solely on the kids exploring the house and creatures attacking them and killing them and things like that and being possessed. And then there's a whole other side movie where Creon and his minion, this weird werewolf-looking dude, I guess, or monster, he's talking about, we're getting these kids, but you never see them in the same room, and then this monster guy just goes from one room, listening in the other side of the door of scenes that are happening where the kids are exploring the house. It's so damn weird. And I would say that the weirdness is its strength. But if you're looking for a cohesive narrative in a film, do not watch Spookies. But if you're looking for something that's really weird and bizarre, and almost bipolar in the way that it shoots stuff and presents stuff, you're going to enjoy the film because it's just weird. The creature effects are fantastic throughout, but they do vary in different levels of success, I guess. Some stuff is really awesome, the practical effects, some of the puppets and things like that, and then some are really corny and silly. But it's just like, you don't know what you're going to get, so it almost feels like every creature was from a different movie set and was just brought in here. There's no cohesion. There's no a sense of a cohesive world where these creatures and beings and monsters come from. They're all just from every walk of life, and you don't know what the hell's going on. And that's the thing. It's sporadically, when they split the kids up in the movie and they're in the house going over, they're all in different separate groups. So it just goes back and forth with no rhyme or reason of what the hell's happening. And then splice into that the little minion of Creon creeping around the hallway, listening in on people's conversations. It's fucking nuts. This movie's nuts. But in the end, I do love it a lot. I love the practical effects. I love the weirdness of the production, both behind the scenes and in front of the camera. It's just a fascinating movie. And some of the players that are kind of standouts in this, I wouldn't say they're awesome, but Creon is played by Felix Ward, who does a very weird job of... he's almost some kind of crypt keeper sorcerer that keeps his bride in some kind of stasis until he can bring her back to life. And then when she is brought back to life, she doesn't want anything to do with him. So I don't know what the hell's going on in the story, to be honest. But then there's this character of Duke, a real dickhead character. I love him to death. His name is, he's played by Nick Gionta. He's a complete asshole through and through, as is most everyone in this story. I think every single character in the movie is a complete prick. They hate each other. Even the group that comes together, they come to this house together, and they can't stand any of them, any of the groups. So all the couples hate each other, and the people that are in relationships hate the person they're in the relationship with. They're all just bitching and moaning the whole movie at each other. It's actually really entertaining and funny. But yeah, and then the other standouts is this character Rich, played by Peter Ayasola Jr. This guy's obsessed. He has a puppet for a hand, and he's always talking with his puppet. Real weirdo. Get on your nerves. But he's just, it's an oddball character. And then finally, the Creon's bride, Isabel, she is played by Maria Pachucas. And apparently, Maria Pachucas wanted to do a nude scene at the end of this movie when the zombies are all attacking her. But the producers wouldn't pay up, so she didn't become nude. And then all of her other movies, though, she showed off her pachucas. So it's just a crazy production. Nothing makes sense in this movie, and that's why I love it. But another little tidbit that I found out that I was actually kind of intrigued about was the poster for Spookies, where it shows Maria Pachuca's character being carried away in kind of illustrated form by zombies. Was actually done by Richard Corbin. I never know how to pronounce it, but that guy is famous for his kind of heavy metal magazine illustrations and characters and graphic novels and stuff like that. His most popular character that I remember is Den, who was in the heavy metal, the animated movie actually, where it's voiced by John Candy, where it's a nerdy kid who gets transported to another world with creatures and buxom women, and he's a naked bald man fighting a muscular bald man. That's Richard Corbin's kind of warped mind come to life, and he did the illustration for the poster. So I thought that was a kind of interesting little tidbit. But yeah, do I recommend this movie? Yes, but there's a caveat. If you watch it with a bunch of friends and you don't want to take it too seriously, you want to see something truly absurd in cinematic form, definitely watch it. If you want a cohesive story with a narrative and something that makes a little bit of sense, you're gonna hate this movie. So take what you will from that. But that is Spookies. I honestly recommend it just because I love this weird, ridiculous stuff. And the creatures and the nonsensical, unpredictable nature of the film is what really makes it thrive. So that is Spookies. But guys, hopefully you like that weird one, and hopefully you like what I'm doing here. But if you do, like and subscribe and leave a comment below because I love hearing from you guys. But until then, I will see you all at the next Lucid Nightmare. Peace.